Okay, so we're recording, which means those of you talking can be heard by your peers. So you wanted number 9, correct? So BD is 4x, and CE is 2x plus 2. So what I tend to do is draw a little diagram, because this overlapping is going to drive me crazy. Okay? So BD is 4x. This is, does that say 5? And that says 3. And over here, 2x plus 2. Correct? And it says 3. Now, somewhere in these directions earlier on a different page, did it say that these were similar or something? Anything? Okay, hold on. Find the measures of the indicated parts. Right? Okay, so first of all, we have to be comfortable that we can say that these are similar. How can we say that there's 9 is similar?
Because they both have,
Okay, so angle similarity. Since those angles are congruent and these angles are congruent, I know that they're similar. Okay? So now I'm going to set this up as a proportion. You don't need all 3 numbers. You only need 2 corresponding side ratios, okay? So I'm going to set it up as 5 to 4x, okay, is going to correspond to 3, okay? It's going to be the same as I could have done 5 to 3 over 4x over 2x plus 2, okay? So 5, let's go down here. We'll do this side first. That's 12x, correct? 5 times 2x is 10x plus 10. Subtract 10x from both sides. I get 2x equals 10. X equals 5. But they told me they wanted me to find BD and CE. So 5 times 4 is 20. And CE, 2 times 5 is 10. Little interaction here. Plus 2 is 12. Is that what I told you was the correct answer? Okay, I'm just checking that I didn't make a mistake somewhere. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, the key for me on this, I'm going to tell you, is actually, to me, drawing these triangles separately. Because it makes it easier to see. But you guys, I love you, sometimes get lazy. And you don't want to actually do it. Okay, I'm going to stop the video. Okay, number 2. They want us to find x so that QS is parallel to PT. For these to be parallel, the triangles have to be similar, correct? So let's see what they give us. They give us PQ is 8, QR is 5, RS is 15, and ST, well that's an S, if that was R, is x plus 3. Okay? So how do I want to set that up?
Can you set it up so it's 5 over 8 equals 15 over x plus 3?
5 over 8 equals 15 over x plus 3. Okay? 8 times 15 is?
120.
Do we agree?
Yes.
Okay. 5x plus 15, correct?
Yeah.
So when we solve, I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. And I get over here 105. So what's x equal to? 105 divided by?
21.
Is that what I told you the answer was?
Yes.
You get what you did wrong? Now, here's the other thing I want to point out to you just for a moment here. because there's all kinds of proportions here. How do you get from 5 to 15? 8 times 3 is 24. 21 plus 3 equals 24. Okay? So I want you to see, so that you could always come back to how to set it up as a proportion, but there's all kinds of things going on here. And the relationship from R to Q, from this to this, is going to be the same for here if these two triangles are similar, and we said we want them to be because we want the lines to be parallel. Question about this question or something else?
Yeah.
Okay, then about this question we'll record.
I'm confused. Wouldn't it be 15 over 15 plus x plus 3?
You could have done that, okay? But if you did that, you would have had to do 5 over 18. So what he's saying is, could you have compared this, or you can't, this shorter side here, so QR, could you set up the proportion? Basically what he's saying is, could you have done RS over R, oh my gosh, T? Yes, you could have. So that would have been X plus 18, correct? But if you did that, you would have had to have done 5 over 13. Once again, you can do it that way. Lots of different ways to do it. That's why I like it. That's why you guys get confused. Because if you're not paying full attention, you heard bits and pieces of 3 different ways to do it, right? But you could watch the movie. And then you could get all 3 ways. Now we want to determine whether QS is parallel to PT. Justify your answer. Remember on the quiz, on the test, it's going to be multiple choice. So you're going to pick the correct justification. Let's see what they give us. PQ is 18, correct? QR is 6. Ooh, already I see a relationship, right? 1, like 1 to 3, right? Okay, so RS is 12 and ST 36. How do I get from 6 to 18? Times 3. How do I get from 12 to 36? Times 3. That actually means, now they don't ask you this, but I'm enriching here. Okay, isn't this side going to be 3 times QS? That means that if I actually, and you can see that here, if I actually measure down, it's breaking it in a 1/3 relationship. 1/3 to 2/3. Question on this problem? Yes.
Well, 6 times 2 is 12 and 18 times 2 is 36.
That works also.
But that isn't 3 though.
Right, but on that case, all you're trying to do is figure out the what? The reason that's not working is because you're doing segments compared to the whole thing. Okay? Yes.
So if you got yes 1/3, would that be the correct answer?
Yes. I mean, basically, there's going to be some kind of reasoning there, and you're going to pick the justification that
Why
makes
was
sense.
it 3 though? Can it be 1/3 or 3?
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying that this is going to be 1/3 of this. But, okay? Yes.
So we'll do the answer. Yes, 3.
I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to come back to it. I don't have the test made. Remind me. I mean, I have the test made. I don't have it printed. Remind me. Look. Okay, let me look at number 11 on the test, and that way I'll help you with how the reasoning would actually work, okay? Hi. Do you want to say hi to Mom?
Hi, Mom.
There you go.
Hi, Mommy.
Okay, let me try and redeem myself, because number 12 is the problem that I had a problem with yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So, what problem was, I thought this was like a scale factor. I didn't like pay attention, right? Because it doesn't say it's not drawn to scale, right? So I assumed it was drawn to scale, but is it drawn to scale? No. So, the perimeter PQR is 36. Okay? PR is 6. And AC is 12. Okay, so the relationship there is 1/2. Okay, so if the perimeter here is 36, remember perimeter is going to be the same relationship as the ratio, right? So the perimeter is going to be 72. Is area going to have the same relationship? No. Why not? Because it's how many dimensions? 2. Don't let that trip you up on your challenge problems. Hint, hint. Question on this one? Okay, so because the perimeter of PQ, he asked how I got 72. The perimeter of PQR is 36. What's 36 times 2? Same relationship. Is there a reason we're chatting? And you're being videoed. We're not videoed. The sound is
Okay.
okay, number 13. If PQR is similar to PST, okay. Oh, it's labeled QR is 15, ST is 10, PS is 9, and PT is 8. What am I trying to find here? The perimeter of PQR? Okay, so the first thing I need to do is have a brain freeze. Okay. Okay. 10 to 15, right? Okay, is going to be similar. 9 to X, correct? Corresponding sides here. The 9 corresponds to the longer side here. So when I cross multiply, 10X equals 9 times 15 is
135.
divided by 10 is 13.5. That's the entire side there, right? Correct?
Yes.
Now I have to do the same thing for the other side. I'm using 10 to 15 equals 8 to X. 8 times 15 is 120? Okay. X equals 12 plus 13.5 is 25.5. Am I correct? Plus 15. Right? 40.5? Is that what I told you the answer was?
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on. Yeah.
Like the 10 over 15 came to simplify.
You could have. Yeah, you absolutely could have. Okay? Which, so if you simplified it, it would have been 2 over 3, right? You could have used that ratio. Question on this one.
Wouldn't it be 10 over 15 is equal to 9 over 8?
No. The 9 and the 8 are corresponding. They're not corresponding sides. They're not even corresponding sides. So if you did that, because basically what you're saying, I'm going to call this for length of better word. I'm going to say I'm comparing the base to the base. When I do the 10 over 15, base to the base. And I'm going to call this the left side of the smaller triangle to the left side of the bigger triangle. Question on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is 13.5 the length of the entire QP? Should it just be QS?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm trying to find.
And then 13.5.
Yeah, but there's we gotta
No,
go with that.
because 15 is the base of the entire triangle. So what you're comparing is, once again, the base of the smaller triangle to the base of the longer triangle. Break it out, look at it like this. That's 9, that's 10, right? That's 15, that's X. Technically, this segment here, well, what's 13.5 minus 9?
4.5.
What?
4.5.
So this part here would only be 4.5. It's not the entire thing. The entire thing is this. If I were asked to find just this length, I would still have to set it up this way and then subtract from that. Okay? Also, Sid, I don't know if this is gonna help, but what I also am kind of aware of when I'm doing this is since this is 10 and this is 15, okay? The difference between the two is still less than either number. So honestly, and I think I'm pointing to the person, okay? Because I don't want to say names on the video. I think when I helped her with it yesterday, I kind of at first was like, what? Because I was expecting a number here. I was thinking I was finding this for a second. I got confused with what I was finding. So when I got 13.5, I was like, well, I shouldn't get a number greater than 10 because this whole triangle isn't doubling, right? If it was doubling, that would be 20. And then I realized, oh, wait, I just needed that side. It wasn't asking me for this bit. Does that help, or did I confuse you more? No. Okay, good, because I got a lot of stuff going on. Question on this one still, because I know I'm still recording.
So, is it asking for the perimeter of the entire thing?
Yes, it's asking for the perimeter of PQR. Okay, if you remember the directions at the beginning, it's hard to see it say find the perimeter in the following problems, doesn't it? Do you want me to look at yours? You see where it says it? Okay, are we done with this one?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just disclaimer here for the purposes of HIPAA violations or whatever. I don't like to say names in the video. The students have decided that that makes it impersonal. So they have made up names for themselves. So if I use their name, it's not their name. We now have a class of Ricardo Sanchez III as Poppy Savage, Taco, Dan Howell, OG Mikey, LeBron, Shrek. I don't know if I can say that.
Lester.
Okay, Phil Lester.
I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, I
Sounds
get it.
something wrong. Okay, so.
Take my name.
No. Wait, we have a different name. Okay, so number 14. Phil Lester, would you like to read problem 14 to us?
Yes. Find the okay. Sorry.
Phil Lester has a reading difficulty.
True.
Not
Find
true.
the
Okay.
if triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. Line AD is an altitude of triangle ABC. PS is an altitude of triangle PQR. AB equals 12, AC equals 16, and PR equals 10.
Okay, so they want us to find basically the altitude of this second triangle. There's a lot written here, but how could I set up this proportion? Anybody want to answer? How could I set up this proportion? And the crowd goes silent. Is that LeBron back there? Okay, LeBron, let's see if you can shoot and score. How would I set this up?
16
16
over 10
over 10, that works.
equals 12.
12.
X.
He shoots, he scores. 16x equals 120. So what is 120 divided by 16?
7.
What? 7.5, and is that what I told you the answer was?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, wait, it is?
I don't know, you want to check it? Hold on, what's
No,
your
yes,
name?
it is.
It is, what? Poppy Savage, let's check it. First time I pulled out the calculator today.
We gotta start Michael.
7.5, Poppy Savage for the win. Don't make me blow my whistle. Hey, we're doing problem 15. Oh, who wants to read number 15 for me? OG Mikey. He's such an original gangster. Go ahead, we're scared.
Find AB if B, D, and Q as our altitudes and triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR.
Yeah, I'm just curious, did anybody find a way to do this without doing a quadratic equation? I did doing a quadratic. Okay, if not, tell me how to set it up.
Wait, what's the answer?
I believe it is 3.
For the length of AB.
Yeah, for the length of, oh, no, not, oh! X is 3, so AB is 6. What?
Ricardo Sanchez the third.
Ricardo Sanchez the third?
He said he had a way.
Well, how'd you do it, Ricardo Sanchez the third?
What? No, I did it like that. What? Wait, is it 3 or 6? I didn't ask you what's 3.
Okay, sorry, X is 3, this side is 6. Okay? It says find AB, it doesn't say find X. So how did you set it up? Yes.
I used a proportion, but then that ended up being quadratic.
Right, that's what I did also. I did a proportion, but it ended up being quadratic. So let's go through it. I did 9 point X, 9 minus X, over what? 6 equals 6 over, I did this over this. Is it the 6? What is this?
3.
Oh, I can't read, sorry. Okay, so 9 minus X over 3. It's too blurry up here, I can't see it. Okay, I guess I could look here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so when I cross multiply, I definitely get that's 18, right? But X times 9 is 9X. And negative X times X is negative X squared. So to solve a quadratic, the first thing I have to do is set everything equal to what? No, not 1. 0. So I end up with, I'm going to write this with the leading coefficient, negative 9x squared plus 9x minus 18 equals 0. Do you understand how I got that?
Yeah.
But then, yes?
I didn't solve the quadratic.
You didn't solve the quadratic? You just gave up?
No, all I did was I just guessed and checked.
Okay, well he did guess and check, which will work because it'll be multiple choice. But I'd like to review the quadratic because it's so much fun. Uh-huh. It is. It's not bad now. What are you probably not liking about this quadratic?
Negative.
The negative in front, right? The leading coefficient being negative. So then I went through by the magic that is math and just flipped all the signs. Right?
Yeah.
Now, gentlemen, I have to actually factor the quadratic. Who says they don't know how to do it? Okay, well, sadly you're going to algebra 2. Good. I need 2 numbers that multiply to get positive 18 and add or subtract to get negative 9. Yes.
3.
3.
And 6.
And if they're both negative, right,
Then
that'll make the positive 18. So, okay, now, hopefully at this point you don't need this step anymore, right? If I set them each equal to 0, x could be equal to 3, right? Or x could be equal to 6, correct? So mathematically, I have 2 answers. But I have a real problem here. Yeah, I have a lot of problems. Why can x not be 6? Yeah.
Because PQ is 6.
PQ is 6. It's across from a 90-degree angle, which is going to be the largest angle. So it has to be larger than the other 2 sides, right? So the only thing that works in application is 3. Now, you could mess up like I did, because I was thinking they were just asking for x, and I got 3. But they actually wanted you to find AB. So 9 minus 3 is,
6.
in this case, these triangles are not just similar, they are what? Congruent. Okay? You want to ask a question or add something there? What are you, squeegee boy? What are you?
I'm Squeeps McQuallen.
Squeaks McQuallen.
I want to read it.
Okay. Are we done with problem 15? Hold on, let me erase it. Let me stop it.
Yes.
Determine.
Wait, I have to call on you. Squeaks McQuallen.
Determine whether each pair of figures is similar. Justify your answer.
Okay. Now, I think there's actually two correct answers here. I came up with B. Is that what they told you the answer is? Okay, guys, they're not similar. The corresponding angles, there's no two corresponding angles that are similar. Now, if you took the problem further, you would also find that the ratio of the corresponding sides is not proportional, okay? But it was much easier to look at the angles and just see the angles were not congruent. So that's why the answer is B.
But aren't they both technically right?
Technically, they're both right. Oh wait.
I got that the corresponding sides were actually proportional.
You found that they were actually proportional?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you have a name there, child?
I'm unnamed.
Okay, unnamed child number 1. Okay? Unnamed child number 1 says that the proportions are actually the same. I had unnamed child number 23, I don't know, in 5th period that said they were proportional. Even if they are, I'm saying that B is correct because I don't know why you would want to spend the time doing it. Is this a question on number 1?
Yes.
Yes, Phil Lester.
I have a question. Like, if it's like that on the test, will, if we put D, for example, and this was a question from the test, will we get it right? Like, will you
I
get it right
don't
in
know.
multiple choice?
I don't know.
Or will it be like, will it even
Well,
be like that on the test?
I don't know. I think it's on the test, and I think it's just like that, so I think you better pick B.
Okay.
You realize your name would be better if your last name was Buster. Because you could be
After
Phil
Striker.
A. Buster. You know what filibuster is?
No.
I need a P.
It's actually what I want to be is Phil Striker.
Okay, we're
But-
calling Mr. Livingston. So, for problem number 1, determine whether each pair of figures is similar. When you look at this, you should be able to tell they're not similar because the corresponding angles are not congruent. Basically, okay, I have a 71 and a 71, but neither of these two others match. The corresponding angles are not congruent. Does that clear up any confusion on question 1? Okay. Number 2, we want to apply the dilation with the given vertices. Notice they don't say use any center of dilation. That's why I'm taking it out of your challenge problem. Okay? So, I don't even need this picture. Basically, this is telling me that I'm just multiplying everything by 4. Okay? So the first coordinate here, 2, 1, is going to become 8, 4. Because 2 times 4 is 8, and 1 times 4 is 4. At this point, I can scroll down here and see it can't be C, and it can't be D because those are the wrong coordinates. Everything got multiplied by 4. The scale factor is 4. B is the correct answer. Okay, if I had said by 1/4, then it would have been 0.25. But I didn't say times 1/4, did I? I said times 4. And I would point that out, what you're saying back there, sir, but you don't have a name for it. Oh, he has a name. So young Zazu, as opposed to young Simba, or young Rafiki, because we've had a change. Okay? Let's go through all of these. Somebody give me young Pumbaa. I mean, I'm just saying. Okay. Hold on, I gotta clear this. Do you know why I love number 3? Because it's straight off of the, or problems like it, straight off of the old Algebra 1 midterm when the county used to make it. And the kids would do, oh, it's too hard. It's a proportion, right? So you're multiplying 14 times x minus 1. So that would be like 14 times the quantity of x minus 1, right? And you're cross multiplying 20 with the quantity of x plus 1. Now when I do this, I don't even write out that step, but I'm writing it now to help you. 14 times x is 14x. And 14 times negative 1 is? And 20 times x is? And 20 times 1 is? Okay? So, I'm going to add 20 over, and I'm going to get positive 6, correct? And I'm going to subtract 14x from 20x, and I'm going to get 6x. So x equals what? I messed up. What did I do wrong?
You can't add 20, you have to subtract.
Oh, I messed up. See, and I'm just recording it like this. Because I was, if it's any consolation, starting to be like, this answer is not 1. It's not going to work. So that's what happens when I do 2 things at once. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. See what happens when I don't show my work? And I'm going to get 14x minus 34 equals 20x, right? Okay, and then I'm going to subtract 14x from both sides. This is why I need to do all of my steps. Right? No? Positive. Just checking to see if you're paying attention. So it's negative 34 over 6. They're both divisible by 2. So I get, yeah, I'm going to let you tell me, over 3. I did know that part. It was the other part I messed up. Do you understand how to do it now? Do you understand why you might want to show all your work? Because otherwise you might mess up, as I did. Okay, so the top part of the directions here, oh no, right here, says find x and the measure of the indicated parts. Okay, so first of all, in order to find x, we have to be able to show that these are similar. How can we show that the triangles are similar?
It would be angle.
Right. These angles, and because these lines are parallel, right? Alternate interior angles. What? I don't think it says so. Does it say so? What? Huh? Okay. So now I have to figure out what side matches up with what side. So it's AB is similar to BC, correct? Do not mess up and think that AB is similar to BD. So 4x minus 8 is similar to 16, correct? And that means that 5 is similar to, so guess what we get to do now? Cross multiply. Now I don't always simplify before first, but could I divide 4x and the 8 and the 16 all by 2? Could I divide them all by 4? Do you mind if I do that? Because that's going to make my life a lot easier. You do mind or you don't? Okay. So I'm going to do x minus 2 I don't even, right? Do you see what happens there?
Yes.
What happens there, Mr. Wade? He needs a name. Kevin. Okay. Okay, Kevin.
They have the same, is that the numerator or denominator?
You tell me.
Denominator.
Yeah, I have the same denominator, the bottom, then the bottom, the number on the bottom. So I can just say that x minus 2 is equal to 5, correct? So what does x have to equal? But did they want me to find x? No, they wanted me to find AB. So 4 times 7 is 28. Okay, so Annabeth Chase, 28.
It did ask to find x. It did ask you to find x. Just x and a. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Annabeth. I am supposed to find x, so x is 7. Annabeth Chase. Okay? So, but AB is 4x minus 8, so that's what, Annabeth?
What?
What's AB? Yes, Donald.
Excuse me, but I think that can be solved with a different steps.
Okay, can we just finish solving it this way and then I'll listen to your way, Donald?
Okay.
Okay. Annabeth Chase. What was 20? Is that what I told you the answers were? Okay, I'm just checking. In the other period, we started with problem number 10. So I've not done these before. And as was evidenced earlier, I would not get 100%. Get an A, not 100%. If you want a teacher that would get 100%, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll have fun. Yay. So, Donald. Hold on, wait for the bell, Donald. Donald, how could I have set this up?
So anyways, you did the opposite. So what I did was 4 over 5 equals 16 over 4x minus 8.
Yes.
So basically what I did was 5 times 16 equals 4 times 4x minus 8.
So you can, and that's true, you can set up the proportion many different ways. Any other questions on this problem? Oh, okay, now we're doing problem 7. They want us to, so I'm going to get this, Annabeth. They want us to find x, EB, and ED, correct? Okay, so those are congruent, right? These are congruent. So so the triangles are going to be similar. So I'm going to set up 4x plus 3 over 9x, correct? To 5 over 9. Do you agree with how I've set it up? Do you agree that it works? Anybody want to cross multiply for me? Yes. But you don't have a name. Flower.
36x
Mm-hmm.
plus 27 equals 45x.
So now, if I'm correct, I'm going to subtract 36x from both sides. Thanks. He's like, yeah, you finally got it, Mrs. Fogg. Okay, 45 minus 36 is? So x is equal to 3. So that means that EB is 3 times 4 is, plus 3 is, and BD is 9 times 3, right? Guys, I thought I heard somebody say 42. So am I like off again, or should it be 27? Oh, ED. Because I can't read. So this would have, but BD would have been 27. So when I add 15 and 27, I get 42. Are we there now? Student, we got Akifenwa here today. From the, oh, I'm sorry, Akifenwa, how do I say it? Akinfenwa, from the foreign country of Canada. I know y'all assumed Akinfenwa would be from someplace else, all races. Okay, so. We're being videoed here, peeps. Okay, so we did 7, didn't we? We just did 7. Oh my gosh, you're ruining this. So, shh. Number 8. We want us to find BC, and AC. Okay, so this is pretty easy. If DE is 5 and D to A is 6, what's E to A? Yaki? Okay, so I'm going to set up the proportion of, ooh. Can I set up the proportion this way? Could I have also done 5 over x minus x plus 4 is equal to 1 over 2? Okay, that would have been easier actually now that I'm realizing because x plus 4 would have to be 10, right? Right? Do you realize what I just said? 5 over x plus 4. That one would have been easier, right? Because then it would have to be 10 on the bottom, so x would have to be 6. But I didn't do that. So let's go with what I did. 5 times 2 is, 10 equals x plus 4. I feel like I just saw that somewhere. That's the great thing about proportions. Yaki, stop talking in her ear. So x is equal to 6, but I was supposed to find x plus BC plus AC. So x is 6, BC is 10, and AC is okay. Did we decide there was 12? I got Boo Radley / Squirrel / I don't know my name over here.
No.
Okay, so normally the 5th wheel is when 2 couples go out and they bring a friend. So that's like the 5th person. So if 3 couples go out, then that extra person is the 7th wheel and might be named Leo. It didn't make any sense to put Leo.
People get it.
People get it.
I
Leo
get it.
is here. Okay? So, moving on. So that we can help Leo. Okay. We're just going to assume Leo had a question here. So, Akashwani, whatever it is, please help. And you do realize this is all on video. So that your parents can say, like, what the heck goes on in that geometry? Great. Okay, so the best way I have to do number 9 is, I know those are ugly triangles, but to break out the 2 triangles, because with them overlapping, if I don't break them out, I'm going to get confused. So triangle A, B, C. Okay? Not ABC, sorry, ABD. I'm already confused. Has a base, I'm going to call it a 4x. A height of 5. Triangle C, E, F has a base of 2x plus 2 and a height of 3. Guess what we're going to do here? We're going to set up a what? Proportion. So, Seaweed Brain, would you like to set it up for me?
Yes, I would.
Okay, go ahead.
5 over 4x equals 3 over 2x plus 2.
So guys, hopefully you're starting to see a lot of these are just setting up a proportion and solving. Proportions are like my favorite thing in the world. So, yes?
Yes.
So you like proportions and Leo likes proofs. I'm so excited. Okay, so 5 times 2x plus 2 is equals. So can I subtract 10x from both sides? Did I get it right, Squirrel? Okay.
But that's not
Keep changing your names, guys. So what is x equal to? 5. Was I, okay, but I wasn't supposed to find that. I was supposed to find B, D, and C, E, correct? So, B, D would be, Jesus, what would be D? 20. And what would C, E be, Kevin?
12. Wait, 12? Yeah.
12. Okay? We got it? Okay. So, next one, they want us to find x so that QS is parallel to PT. In order for QS to be parallel to PT, these two triangles need to be similar. So we're going to be using a what?
Proportion.
A proportion. So PQ is 8 and QR is 5. And RS is 15 and ST is x plus 3. There's lots of ways to set this up. Who wants to set it up? Give a name. I love it. It's my favorite student. It's geometry. Love her or him. We don't know. Because geometry, it could be gender neutral. Yeah. But when she speaks, you might know that she's a she. Okay, so how am I going to set this up, G?
Well, I did 5 over 8
Okay.
equals 15 over x plus 3.
That works. So then,
And then
8 times 15 is,
120.
right? So when I subtract here, I get 105 equals 5x, and x equals 21. Thrilling. We understand how we got that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we want to determine whether QS is parallel to PT. So we need to have a proportional relationship here. So PQ is 18 and QR is 6. RS is 12 and ST is 36. Well, right away, yeah, Persabeth, you want to tell us about this problem? I don't know, you're holding up your name like you wanted me to call on you.
Okay, so you make a proportion and see if it's equal to each other. So 6, I did 6 to 18. 6 to 18, which simplifies into 1 to 3. And then you check if 12 to 36 simplifies into 1 to 3.
And-
So they're
So they're similar. I also just said, well, 6 times 3 is 12, 18 times 3 is 36. So they're going to be proportional. If
3
That's not right.
Sorry, I mean 6 times 2. Okay, 18 times 2 is, yeah, sorry, 6 times 3 is 18, and 12 times 3 is 36. Is there a question on this? Yes.
So is 1/3 still like an acceptable answer? Because you said 3 and I got 1/3.
Oh, I wrote it up here. I'm going to look at how it's actually written on the test, because on the test, it's going to be multiple choice. The multiple choice, so that means like to justify your answers, you'll have to pick which one is correct. Question about this? Are there any proofs on your review? So guess what? Yes. Jack the talking sword, what is your question?
Could it be the converse of the triangle proportionality theorem or no?
Fancy.
Because I thought it had to be like an actual name.
That sounds great. I honestly, the test is multiple choice, so I don't, if it was written out, then I could tell you what I would accept, but it is just multiple choice. For you to move right there. Oh, we're recording. So, determine whether each pair of figures is similar. Okay, so you know that you're going to figure out the similarity based upon either angles or sides. Right away, I would look at the angles because the angles have to be the same. While 71 and 71 are congruent, 55 is not congruent to 56, and it's not congruent to 40. So they're not similar because the corresponding angles are not congruent. Does that answer any question here?
What about
Okay, so even if you figure out that the corresponding sides are not proportional, because of these weird decimals, that took a lot of work. So really, sometimes it's not the correct answer, it's the best answer, and answer B takes a lot less work to get there. So that's why B is the correct choice. Are there any other questions on question 1? I don't need a fake name, I am Mrs. Falk.
No, like if you both have to.
math teacher?
Okay, call me Stephanie Zimbler. Okay, okay. Is it walrus? To kill death to the walruses, McMurphy?
That's the evil walrus.
Evil walruses. Can you read the problem for us, or can you not see from that far back?
Apply the dilation D to the polygon given vertices in accordance with the image. Once identified and characteristic, D equals X.
Okay, you don't have to read any more than that. We got it. Death to evil walruses. Okay, so, guys, really you don't have to do that much work here. You're dealing with a translation, not a translation, a dilation with 4. So what I did was I just looked at the first point, 2, 1. That's going to become 2 times 4 is 2 times 4,
Oh, my bad.
and 1 times 4 is 4. So the new A, or A prime, is going to be 8, 4. That means it cannot be C, and it cannot be D. It is a scale factor of 4. So B is the correct answer. Question on this?
I'm gonna kind of be like living right here, but
You can't say real names.
what if
What if?
What if it said it x y turned to 2x 1 and 3y?
You can't have that. Right now, with the dilation, X and Y are going to be the same thing. Okay? Yes, OG Savage. Simba?
So you use their dilation, because what I did like a guessing check, and I used the scale factor 0.25, and it gave me those points.
Right.
That's how I got.
No, that's right, because 0.25 is smaller. What they're also testing is that you can actually understand the notation.
Oh, okay.
Okay? OG toothpaste.
Okay, so like on a question like this, all you have to do is multiply the x and y by 4, and that's it.
If it said 6, then by 6.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? Yeah. And you only have to do it on 1 because it's multiple choice. Vicks Vapor Rub, do you have a question?
No.
Okay. So number 3 is solving a proportion. You're still cross multiplying. So what I think you sometimes forget, and I used to love it because I used to have a question like this every year on the midterm for algebra the first semester, so it reviewed it, is you're cross multiplying. So basically what you're doing, and I don't usually write out this step when I do it, I'm just writing out the step right now so you can copy it down if you needed to so you can remember it. You're multiplying 20 by the quantity of x plus 1. And you're multiplying 14 by the quantity of x minus 1. So you get 20x plus 20 equals 14x minus 4. Okay? So now if I subtract 14x from both sides, sorry, not by 4, by 14, okay? So I get 6x, correct? And if I subtract 20 over here, I get 34, right? Negative 34. So I end up, when I divide both sides by 6, I get negative 34. Oh my gosh, give me a minute. And I can divide both of those by 2, correct?
Yes.
So I get negative 17 over 3. That's again, you should watch my videos from 4th period. I like mess this up all over the place. Question about this one. Yes, Killian with 2 L's.
Where did the x go?
What do you mean, where did the x go?
When you made it like negative 34 over 6, where did you put x?
X equals.
Wait,
I just didn't write that. Yes. OG Savage Squirrel or something? Oh, OG Savage Simba, yes. OG Toothpaste Taco. Just doesn't sound good, yes?
Wait,
Wait,
is the answer x equals 17, negative 17 thirds?
well, yes.
But it's telling you to solve the proportion, so wouldn't you have to like plug that in for x and make it like,
No.
no?
No, that's what, when we say solve the proportion, that's what we mean.
Oh.
Maybe that's what's confusing. When you say solve the proportion, we know the proportion is 14 over 20.
Oh.
So we could just simplify that. What 14 divided by 20 is,
7 over 10.
okay? We know that's the proportional relationship. I understand, and that's a good question, Jamie. The word is confusing you. Solve the proportion basically means find x. Yes.
Could you like simplify it from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Killian with 2 L's.
How do you know when to do it like with negative 17 over 3 and when to find x as when you divide 6 by 34 and actually find the answer?
That's what we just did.
No, I mean like,
Oh, how do you know that I didn't want a decimal? Because I told you guys I wanted an improper fraction. It'll be multiple choice, so you'll be able to figure it out. Okay, that's why. I think if you actually do a decimal, you get a repeating decimal or an improper whole number. You're right. That's how you would know.
Wait,
Do you have a question here? I see Santa Claus. I see Nicholas. Is that your name? I see Nicholas 45. Get it? I see Santa Claus. Okay. Yes.
If you had like instead of negative and you like put it in and like has I don't remember his name, but
Taco toothpaste?
Choco toothpaste, yeah. If you plugged it in like because like to plug X in and you got it wrong, would that technically be marked wrong even if you got X equals?
It's going to be multiple choice. So yes, now I'm telling you, solve each proportion means find x. Okay? Do you have a question, Anita, man?
How do you know if you're supposed to put it when you cross multiply it or if you're supposed to set it equal to each other? Because when you cross multiply, like at first I set it in a fraction.
And you're doing it wrong. When you cross multiply, it always becomes an equation. Guys, when you cross multiply, you always send it to an equation. Once you cross multiply, you're not going to have a fraction. If you have a fraction, I see what you did. You put like a top and a bottom. Yeah, you just did something wrong. Unless, this is a very long video, unless you did, which might be what you did, 14x plus 14 over 20x minus 20. That's not cross multiply. That's multiplying across, and that's not what you do. You do that when there's a multiplication sign in between two fractions. You multiply across, not cross.
That's how we start the video because you don't got that afro.
Okay, identify the similar triangles and find x. What they want you to be able to do here is figure out how they lay out. Okay? So B is similar to what? B is similar to D. Okay? A is similar to E. So F must be similar to C.
I know my alphabet now.
Yay!
Okay? So now, how would you set that up? I would do 10
Over 40
over, you could do over 40. Oh, do it over 40 because we can simplify. Equals X. So you just cross multiply. So 12.
3.
See, Anita, how we cross multiplied? We didn't multiply across. Okay? So we got how to do that. Yes, OG, Savage, Simba, Santa Claus. Yes.
Is it okay, like, cause I put triangle DEF, it's similar to triangle BAC.
That's fine, as long as they match up. Remember, it will be multiple choice, so you just have to pick the one that matches up.
There won't be any written.
No. Do you want written?
No.
No.
Okay, I see Santa Claus. What do we got here? Hey, yeah, what's your question?
My question was that I put that side angle side things that are similar. But when I looked through the book, like I couldn't for chapter 6, I couldn't find side angle side like for similarity. So I thought that was like a trick question, and I said no because it proves it's congruent, not similar.
Okay, side, angle, side, similarity.
There.
We're gonna show. He's gonna show you in the book.
Wait, wouldn't it be congruent?
Oh, it's here.
If it's congruent, then it's also similar.
So it's, but it would
So
be
it is a
congruent
trick
as
question.
Show
well.
me the book.
Wait, so are we
Guys, if it is congruent,
We'll say
then it is also
Similar.
similar.
But if it's similar, it doesn't mean it's congruent.
Correct. Yes, Chloe.
AB.
Lillian, you missed something.
Oh, find x and measures of the indicated parts.
Okay, so first of all, in order to do this, they have to be similar. So we have to prove to ourselves that they're similar. Okay? Those are similar. I know the screen just messed up. You can't assume that these lines are parallel unless they're marked. In this case, they are marked. So this angle and this angle are congruent because they're parallel lines cut by a transversal and it's alternate interior. Okay? So then, help me out here because my thing got messed up. What does this say?
4x minus 8.
Over
16.
I think that's 16.
And then 5.
And then
5 over 4.
now,
No, it's 4 over 5.
5 over 4.
4x plus minus 8 is on the sides, on the top. So the 5 is on the same triangle, so it's there. Now, I'm going to simplify because over here I can divide everything by 4. Okay? So I get x minus 2 over 4. And what do you notice about the denominators?
They're the same.
They're the same, but they're not equal. Or they might be equal.
4 and 4, so that means that the x minus 2
Equals 5.
equals 5. Now, if you're not sure about that, you could cross multiply. 4 times 5 is 20.
Oh yeah, it's simplifying it makes it so much
And
easier.
4x minus 8,
Bless you.
right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I doing this right?
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Okay. So, I add 8 and I get 28 equals 4x. X is equal to,
7.
and over here, what minus 2 equals 5?
7.
7.
Okay? So I can say that in either case, x is equal to 7.
And AB.
But they wanted me to find x and AB. So 4 times 7 is
28.
minus 8 is
20. I think we're the smartest class.
Oh yeah, how much is
No,
this
don't
though?
say that. That's not
That looks like me.
One mention.
Clubber Lane.
But I want to be Clover Lane.
Sure, Clover Lane, hello.
Why do you guys keep changing your names?
Taco toothpaste. Please read.
Taco toothpaste.
Find x and the measures of the indicated parts, EB and ED.
So same thing. Vertical angles are congruent, right?
Yes.
Alternate interior angles are congruent.
Yes.
So 4x plus 3 over 9x, is that 9x?
Yeah.
Yes.
Equals 5 over, okay? So 36 plus,
27.
sorry, 36x plus 27 equals 45x. So 27 equals what?
27 equals
9x.
5x.
Subtract 36x from both sides.
9x.
9x. X equals
3.
So 4, we want to find EB and ED.
15.
4, that's 15. Now, EB plus BD. BD is how much?
27.
It's all 42.
Now, and you'll notice when we say not drawn to scale, this is actually larger than this, but doesn't look like that in the picture, does it?
No.
Not to scale.
Not drawn to
Hey! OG Rich Cracker, what do you got for me?
Number 9.
Well, I just dropped
8.
Oh. Find x and the measures of the indicated parts, BC and AC.
Okay, so BC and AC. Okay, if this is 5, what's this little bit?
I don't know.
Well, that says
One.
6.
It's
Oh, one.
1.
So, Ritz Cracker,
Ah,
you want to set one up for me? Want to set it up for me?
no.
Okay.
Can I
Sure. Say I see St. Nicholas.
Then that means that 1 over 2
Okay.
is equal to 5 over x plus 4.
Now, if you do this, you might say, oh, wait a second. This bottom here has to be 10, right?
Yeah.
So, question right now?
Yeah. Why? Where do you get the 1/2?
1 over 2. This whole thing was 6, right?
Yeah.
So if this is 5, this has to be 1. Okay? So right away I could say that if this is 5, this has to be 10. So I could just do x plus 4 equals 10, x equals 6. Right? Set and catch that. And I cross multiply, I still would get x plus 4 equals 10. X is equal to 6. They want me to find
BC.
BC and AC. So 6 plus 4 is
10. 10.
and 10 plus 2 is
12. This is obviously not drawn to scale.
5 L's, 2 K's, 4 I's, and 2 N's.
Wow, Killian.
Anita, were you reading?
Yeah. Find x and the measures of the indicated parts. BD and CE.
Okay. For this one, because they overlap, I feel like the best thing to do is to draw the figures separately. Correct. OG gangster.
Oh, Ritz Cracker.
Oh, I didn't
OG
understand.
Ritz Cracker. Okay? So, so do you see how this triangle here, right?
Yeah.
So, AB is 5. BD
It's 4.
is 4x.
Wait.
What?
I'm confused.
Okay, the triangle is ABD, right? AB is, BD, they told you right over here. See that is what? So how much is it? How much is that?
What?
How much is that?
4.
Thank you. So now over here, FE is 3, right? And CE is what?
2x plus 2.
So you can set this up a bunch of different ways.
And then you just set them equal to each other?
Yeah, well, you set up a proportion. So I just would do 5 over 4x equals 3.
Over 2x. 2x plus 2.
Same.
So 4x times 3 is
12x
12x.
equals 5.
5 times 2x.
10x plus 10.
Okay, yeah, make sure you distribute.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to subtract the 10x from over here, right?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to subtract the 10x from both sides.
Yeah, and then that would give
I
you
need 2x equals 10,
x equals
x equals 5. So they wanted to know x, which is 5. They wanted to know the length of BD. So 4 times 5 is,
20. Oh, 20.
and CE is,
2x plus 2.
right, so what do you, so that what's that value? If x is 5, what's 2x plus 2? If x is equal to 5, what's the value of 2x plus 2? Okay, how do you, somebody help her.
12.
Okay, how did you get 12?
I plugged in 5.
You have to plug in the 5 for x, right?
Oh, I thought you were telling me. I don't understand what, like, my brain is confused.
Okay, so now do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't like
X.
input, like.
X is 5, so you need to find a value for 2x plus 2. You couldn't
just
do
want
that.
to plug in 5.
Yes, you have to plug it in. Okay, you can't do that till you find 5. So you
That'd be cool, like that.
don't make me blow the whistle. Okay, so. Okay, who wants to read it for me?
I do.
I thought you were orange juice. Okay, Savage.
Okay, so that line QS is parallel to PT.
So in order for that to happen, these have to be similar. So we have to set up a proportion. They tell me that PQ is 8, QR is 5, RS is 15, ST is x plus 3. Okay? So, how do you want to set up the proportion? There's lots of ways to do it. Yes, over there with no name.
5 over 15
That sounds great.
equals 8 over x plus 3.
So once again, you could simplify 5 over 15, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
To 1 over 3.
Yes.
Okay? 3 times 8 is
24.
equals x plus 3. Subtract 3 from both sides and you get
X equals 21.
x equals 21. And that is the value that you need to make the triangles proportional, which is what makes the lines parallel. Okay, did we do this one?
No.
No.
Okay, determine whether QS is parallel to PT. So PQ is 18. Yes?
Do you have to put it in a
Yeah. Well, not really, in that right now you might realize, 6 times 2 is 12, and 18 times 2 is 36. Or you might realize that 6 times 3 is 18, and 12 times 3 is 36.
Whoa.
But if you put them in a proportion, or even simplify them, you would say that 6,
It's 1/3.
that's 1/3. Okay, now, the question that I've gotten in the other 2 class periods is, it says justify your answer. If this was short answer, I could tell you what I would accept. But I don't know. I'm going to look tonight at how it is asked on the test to give you an idea of what you would pick on the test. Because you might explain it the right way. Because you could explain it by saying 6 over 12 and 18/36 have the same proportional weight. Or 6 to 18 over 12 to 36 have the same proportional relationship, and I don't remember what it is.